Your worst day can sometimes become your best day if you use it. If you don't let it use you, like stress, you can let stress use you, or you can use stress. It's your choice. Most people let stress use them. Same with technology. Most people let technology use them. At this point, I made 3 different decisions than my father did at that time. First, I focused on the fact that there was food. Second, I asked, what does this mean? It meant that strangers care. And that's what changed my life. When I was a little kid, I came from a pretty tough environment. We had no money and no food at Thanksgiving. What changed my life was somebody, probably someone like you, who was kind. The first decision we all make in our lives, the one you're making right now as I speak, may not even be conscious, but you're making it. The problem is life doesn't usually change because we keep answering the same questions in our mind habitually without thinking them through. The first decision we all make, one you're making in this moment, is what are you going to focus on? There are millions of things you could focus on right now. But whatever you focus on, write this down. Focus equals feeling. Whatever you focus on, you will feel. Whether it's true or not doesn't matter. If you change your focus, you instantly change how you feel. We don't experience life itself. We experience the life we focus on. We have that ability in every moment, but we rarely use it. We let our habitual thinking run us instead of taking control of our focus. We must take control of our focus. The second decision we make is, what does something mean? The moment you focus on something, you decide, what does it mean? Is this the end or the beginning? Is this person disrespecting me, challenging me, coaching me, or loving me? Whatever meaning you assign instantly changes your feelings, and your feelings control your actions. So first comes focus, second comes meaning, and we control the meaning. If you think it's the end of a relationship, will you behave the same way as if you think it's the beginning of one? Of course not. The meaning you assign produces the emotion, and that emotion drives the third decision. What action are you going to take? If you're angry, you'll act very differently than if you're feeling generous, creative, playful, or sad. Those 3 decisions, focus, meaning, and action, control our lives. And there are 3 patterns that, by changing even one, can completely transform how you experience your life. Do you focus more on what you have or on what's missing? We all do both. But here's the truth: most achievers, especially overachievers, tend to focus on what's missing. That gives them drive, but it also keeps them from sustaining happiness. How can you ever sustain happiness if you're always focused on what's missing? There's a time to notice what's missing, but if you live there all the time, you become the hamster on the wheel. It doesn't matter how much you achieve, you're never fulfilled. So it's critical to get crystal clear about your pattern of focus. Do you tend to focus on the past, the present, or the future? If you want an extraordinary quality of life, you must learn to shift gears, to notice what you do have, because whatever you focus on, you're going to feel. You already know what to do. My job today is to help you get yourself to actually do it, to put yourself in a state of mindset and psychology every single day, no matter what's happening externally, so that you are in charge of your life and can succeed in any environment. You have to decide, I'm going to own this. No excuses. I'll find a way to do better than ever before. And yes, I'll probably have to work harder than I did 2 years ago. The challenge is most people think too short term. They overestimate what they'll do in a year and underestimate what they'll do in a decade or 2 or 3 or 4 in my case. I'm telling you this because you can take control of everything by mastering those 3 decisions: what to focus on, what it means, and what to do. If you take control of those, you literally take control of your life. Everybody wants to improve, but nobody wants to change. Yet to get where we want to go, we must learn to use our nervous system more effectively. What helped me transform was studying patterns. There are patterns in everything. If someone is great at anything, they're a student of patterns, whether it's investing, business, sales, music, art, or dance. Everything in life is patterns. More than 50% of what we do every day is habit. We think the same thoughts daily, so we experience the same emotions daily. If you want a new life, you have to break those patterns. When I began learning how to shift patterns, that became my breakthrough. First, I learned to change my own patterns. I didn't need to change me, just my habits. It's hard to change yourself. It's not hard to change a pattern. Once I learned to do that, I started helping others do the same. Then it became more interesting and more complex. I began to see patterns in everyone. It started with one question. What makes the difference in the quality of people's lives? Why do so many people perform poorly despite enormous potential? How can someone suffer deeply, face injustice, abuse, or lack of love, and still rise to greatness like Oprah, while others, given every advantage, love, support, education, money, spend their lives in and out of rehab? Because biography is not destiny. Decision is destiny. Everything changes when you make a new decision, especially about what you focus on, what it means, and what you'll do. But you have to decide. You have to draw that line in the sand about what you're willing to tolerate. We all get what we tolerate, not from others, but from ourselves. I grew up with 4 different fathers. We were poor. I wasn't popular. I loved people, but the most popular kid in school was the meanest. He treated me and my friends terribly. I wondered, how is this guy so popular? That made me want to study people. I had no one to learn from, so I took a speed reading course and said, I'll read a book a day. I didn't quite do that, but I did read about 700 books over 7 years on human development, psychology, and physiology until I could see patterns and understand how to change them. Then I learned techniques like neuro-linguistic programming and hypnosis, methods that let me create changes in minutes that used to take years. I even challenged psychiatrists and psychologists, give me your worst patient. I'll handle them in an hour, not 7 years. Now, I train those same professionals. Back then, I was trying to prove myself to them and probably to myself. There's always a reason behind what we do. When you understand the reasons behind human behavior, you can influence it. That's your job and mine. The number one principle of success in anything is energy. Nothing replaces it. It's basic but true low energy. Low performance, high energy, high performance. Your emotional state, your energy is the most powerful force in your life. Change your energy and you change your relationships. Change your energy and you change your business. Learning to shift your energy is the single most important skill in life. Who are you when all hell breaks loose? When everyone's panicking, are you the one asking, what do we do? Or the one saying, move. I'll handle it. That difference in energy means everything. Since COVID, people's energy dropped. They got used to sitting at home doing less. People don't even want to go to work. We've lowered our standard of energy so much we don't even notice because everyone else has too. 4 years of being cooped up changed society. Added weight, shifted thinking. If you want to be the best, you have to rise above that, return to your pre-COVID energy, or better, and you'll crush it no matter the market. When you can recognize patterns, you stop being fearful. You realize this has happened before. You can anticipate instead of react. Reactors panic. Leaders anticipate. Good times create weak people. Throughout history, in every country, that's true, not because people mean to be weak, but because they don't have to be strong. Good times create weak people. Weak people create bad times. Bad times create strong people. Strong people create great times. And great times create weak people again. That's the cycle of history. To influence another person, you must understand what already influences them. Their mental and emotional state is the number one factor. If someone is angry, no matter what you say, they'll react differently than if they're feeling grateful, excited, or playful. So being able to shift someone's state, including your own, is one of the most important skills in life. And being able to do it in seconds, not through fake affirmations like, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy. While your brain says, no, you're not. Moment to moment, your state controls everything. Most people don't celebrate enough, and their nervous systems weaken because they aren't wired for joy. Whatever you do regularly becomes your emotional habit. If you're always trying to fit in, tone yourself down, or react to your environment instead of shaping it, you're training your nervous system for mediocrity instead of your best.